Hey guys, so this video is for new consultants learning all the different terminology and things that we use. So today I want to talk about the perfect tracking program. One of the cool things about Mary Kay is that we lay out the buffet and you get to pick what excites you and what you want from this. Sometimes that's also the hardest thing because there's so many different options and there just isn't a track to run on. So what this perfect track is, it was made by our national sales director, and it just gives you like a way, at least a metric to track throughout the month to give you an idea of, what level of activity you should be at in order to move up in your business. So we have the perfect 3, the perfect 6, the perfect 10, and the perfect 15. There's also a perfect 20, which I've done a couple of them. So I want to share my screen and show this to you. Okay, so the perfect 3 is when you hold 3 parties, and they can be virtual or in person, or 15 faces, meaning if you're doing, let's say you do a party that has 7 people, and then you get together with a couple individual faces to show the product, you count those as 1, 2, 3. So you can either do it the party's way or the faces way. 300 wholesale. And the only reason that's on there is just to back up the fact that if you're doing 3 parties, you should be selling product. And so that's to back up your sales. And then 3 interviews, career surveys, or sharing appointments, meaning they're all kind of the same thing, where you're sharing the Mary Kay opportunity. So in our unit, we use a career survey. So if you have 3 people fill that out, which is pretty easy to do, um, then you did a perfect 3. And here's what's great, you guys. When you do one of these perfect contest things, you actually get recognition, right? So we, as a team, we make this really cool recognition picture for you. Let me give you an example from this past month. So Misty did perfect 10, so she got recognized within our team. You also get recognition in our national area, and you're in our national area newsletter. And it just, I mean, honestly, more than that, it's just that you're doing the activity you need to do to really support that. So perfect 3 is great if you're a part-time consultant, but you want to have consistent reorders, you want to have customers, that's a great thing. And 3 parties in a month is not very much time. It's not a very big time commitment, right? A perfect 6 is when you do 6 parties or 30 faces, 600 wholesale, and 6 career surveys. And this is if you are wanting to have more of a steady, consistent income. You're wanting to move up the career path to a high level of red jacket. So now not only are you making great money selling the product, but you are also maximizing the career path and adding people to your team. A perfect 10 is when you have 10 parties or 50 faces, $1,000 wholesale, and 10 career surveys. This perfect 10 level is my favorite. I've done a perfect 10 every month for the last decade because you're consistently in front of new faces. I have awesome reorders. I'm selling thousands, like thousands every month. I'm adding people to my team, and this is the level and above you want to be if you want to earn a car in Mary Kay or become a sales director, or just really, really have an income that you could replace a job with, that type of thing. So that's where the perfect 10 and the perfect 15, which is 15 parties or 75 bases, 1,500 wholesale, and 15 career surveys. So those are the tracking program for that. And so we do recognition for it, but it's more about you just building that consistency in your business, right? So if you've never done one before, you might start with a perfect 3 and then work up to the 6, do a couple of those in a row, and then work up to the perfect 10 and just keep going. Like it doesn't have to take a lot of time. And the more that you do something, the easier that it gets to do it. So I'm going to share with you now a training that I did for our national area on why this is so important, so that you can get excited about it and pick where you want to be within our unit. So I'm training you guys today, so I have 10 minutes, so I'm going to talk fast. And Sue really wanted me to talk about and impress upon everyone on this Zoom just the importance of the activity. And specifically in our areas, we talk about the perfect contest. I call it the perfect tracking program because it's not really a contest, it's a tracking program, right? So we have the perfect 3, the perfect 6, the perfect 10, and the perfect 15. And so I want to give you a new way to look at this, and we're going to do it with a segment called Math with Emily. Okay. My poor units heard this already, but they get to hear it again. Okay, so we're gonna do a little math with Emily. Okay, so 2 plus 2 equals 5. Okay. So I want to kick off this training by telling you my super quick 2 plus 2 equals 5 story. I started my business in October of 2004. And in January of that year, so just, well, like 3 months later, the company did a promotion where if you had 3 active team members and the production, you could go on target for your car. And so I think I went on target. I don't think I went on target in January, but I went on target in February. And I was on target for my fluorescent red Pontiac Vibe from February all the way through August. And I never earned the car. Okay. And every time like a month would fall off, they would add another month. And so I was literally on target from February to August, didn't earn the car. And that's because I was doing 2 plus 2 equals 5. And here's what that means, you guys. And there's 3 reasons that in your world, 2 plus 2 might equal 5. It's that you have charisma, you're cute, or you're connected. Okay, so sometimes 2 plus 2 equals 5 for us, and we're getting really good results on not so much activity. It's because of charisma, cute, and connectedness. And you might not even be aware that 2 plus 2 equals 5 for you. Now, here's the problem. You might not even have an awareness that this is what's happening for you, okay? But now you want to be a DIQ. You want to be on this Zoom. You want to be moving up in your business. And now you want 2 plus 2 to equal 10. And friends, 2 plus 2 is never going to equal 10. And so you're frustrated in your business because you're like, I got 2 plus 2 to equal 5. How come 2 plus 2 can't equal 10? And you guys, the reason I give this analogy is the importance of doing the activity that matches your goal. And what I want to talk about specifically is allowing yourself the ability to think bigger about the activity. I know we have a perfect 3 and a perfect 6, but if you're wanting bigger things like directorship, earning free cars, making really good money, I want to talk about the perfect 10, which is 10 or more parties in a month, and the perfect 15. And the reason why is, can you become a director on a perfect 6? Sure, I'm sure there's people on this Zoom that have done it. But again, that's kind of the beginning of a 2 plus 2 equals 5 story, because here's what happens. When you try to get through DIQ or become a director on a perfect 6, you are constantly going to feel stressed. You're going to wonder, well, how's it going to come in? You're going to be barely making it at the end of the month. And all of that stress and that anxiety and all of those feelings aren't going to feel good. And it's going to wear on you. Versus when you're doing the activity, it's exciting. You're having fun. You're not worried about where it's coming in because you've got the parties lined up throughout the month to bring the results that you need to create into that. And it's exciting and fun. And you guys, those 2 different energies, you're recruiting 2 completely different kinds of people. When you're in anxiety and stress and wondering how it's going to come in, imagine who you're recruiting under that energy versus exciting possibilities, fun. Who are you recruiting under that energy? And here's how I know this can wear on you. If you've submitted DIQ multiple times, if you've, went for a goal and didn't hit it, I actually think we spend more time trying to find out a way to do less activity. And if we just took that energy and did the activity, it would take less energy. And here's how I know this is true. There are many times in my business where I'll do 3 parties in a row on a Saturday in person, come home and do a Zoom, and I'm exhausted at the end of the day, but I feel good. All I have to do to regain physical energy, right? When we're out doing the activity, we lose physical energy. All you have to do to get physical energy back is take a nap or sleep good. Mental energy, on the other hand, can take work. Like, you got to really work to get through the mental blocks, the limiting beliefs. That is 30,000 times harder to work through. And I know this is true because if you think about high school, I used to run cross country, and I vaguely kind of remember when I would finish a cross country race where you're running 3 miles and each mile is like 6 or 7 minutes, right? And you just like, your butt falls off at the end and you just like can't feel anything. But you go to sleep, you do some stretching, and you wake up and you're refreshed the next day. Okay, right? Versus, I bet some of you are still holding on to something someone said to you when you were in high school. Like I remember in fifth grade, Kyle Mantle told me in the bus line that I had fat thighs, and I still remember that. Okay, so this is how I know that mental energy takes so much more to overcome than physical energy. And so doing the activity, like actually going out and doing it, sometimes we resist it because we think it's just going to take too much work. But you guys, that work pales in comparison to the energy you're spending when you're in that stress, anxiety, and not where you want to be. Okay, so that's why I really want you to start expanding your belief into that perfect 10. And I know this is true. So I'm going to share with you there is only one way. There is only one way to get more results doing less. Again, I'm going to share with you what that is. Okay, so if you're ready, this is the 2 plus 2 equals 4 story. Okay, so this is my 2 plus 2 equals 4 story. When Sue Ponko debuted as a national sales director, I was at a point in my business where I was tired of feeling like I wasn't hitting my goals. And one of the most dangerous commitments you can make is the one to yourself. And by dangerous, I mean dangerous in a good way. I made a commitment to myself that I was going to do the perfect 10 or higher every single month. I didn't even put a time frame on it, okay? Because it's awesome if you do it once, like good for you, but you're really going to see it when you do it consistently over time. And so I think that Sue debuted in 2014. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
2014. So I had not missed a single month of Perfect 10 since 2014. So that was a decade. I have literally done a decade of every single month, 10, 15, or I've done a couple perfect 20s in there. Okay, so I hadn't missed. The first time I missed was this December and this January. Okay, so I had done it for a decade, and then I did two perfect sixes, and Sue boxered me, and she was worried about me. Okay, and I'm like, Sue, I missed 2 months, but it's when you're doing that consistently, you are in your best power. And as you can, do it, right? If you need a starting thought to get you going, instead of thinking, I'm going to do the perfect 10 to get a certain result, just start by saying, I want to do it because I want to get really good at this business. I want to be an expert in what I do. And friends, that is the only way that you are going to get more results doing less activity is when number one, you are scary good at it and you have the confidence to match that. And the only way you're going to get those two things is by doing it consistently month in and month out. Now, I did this example with my leaders. So my girl Misty did a perfect 10 last month. Okay, so this is a graph of Misty's results from her perfect 10. This is Emily's graph of results from perfect 10. It's not that I'm cuter than Misty or more charismatic than Misty. It's just that I've done it so many more times. My confidence level is off the charts when it comes to booking, selling, team building, and Misty's gonna get there. Misty, I was so cool. She did a perfect 10 last month and she boxed with me and she goes, I don't ever not want to do that ever again because of the confidence she got. And she felt that energy shift between wondering, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna do it? To wow, this is abundance. This feels good when it's exciting and things are happening and things are coming in. And so if there's anything I can tell you, just like think bigger about the activity because it's just going to make the whole journey of this business more exciting. And the last thing I just want to finish with that, if you need just another reason, is just when you're doing a perfect 10 and above, I want to talk about the cash flow of that. You guys, money is literally hitting your bank account daily. How many of you would be excited about money hitting your bank account pretty much daily? Not only that, you're adding quality recruits because again, when you're doing that level of activity, your confidence is going to get so high. I mean, you can get confident at a perfect 3, but friends, it's never going to be this kind of confidence. Even if you did a perfect 3 in a row for a decade, every month, it's never going to be this high because it's not the same as a perfect 10, right? So having that and having that money hitting your bank account, that's one of the reasons I love it. You guys, my summer, okay, I need $10,000 to pay for summer. And I use the money from all this money hitting my bank account from doing these perfect 10s and 15s. My kids, so I have an 11-year-old and this 8-year-old. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how old my kids are. They're changing so fast. Um, my kids are set for the summer, you guys. I used to be a camp counselor, so I enroll them in all these camps. So they're doing performing arts camp, Minecraft camp, 2-horse camps, basketball camp, cooking camp, Camp Luther, Camp Omega, which are both church camps, Camp Luther again with the family, and then an 8-day vacation in Yellowstone and Jackson Hole. And I get to do that because I have enough cash flow between my personal business and my unit. And you guys, I'm a top sales director, so there's never a time where this isn't going to be a thing. Like, you keep your confidence level high when you're doing the activity. So just start now. Even if you're a new consultant on this Zoom and you're one of the people off camera, like, start working your way up to this type of consistency. Because once you do a perfect 10 about 3 months in a row with new faces, you almost have to completely stop working for it to stop. And that's when this business gets really fun. It becomes a system and you don't have to think so hard about it, and it's just happening around you. So that's my message today. So I hope you're fired up about just thinking bigger about doing the activity.